So this is 09:24 hours GMT. It's a prelude, the introduction to the main event, which will be broadcast at 09:35 hours GMT. This is the Khudilar campaign, broadcasting the Khudilar television channel online, only on the internet, from London in the UK within quotation marks because of the racist, anti-Scottish arrogance and hatred being spun by Boris Johnson, spewed by Fleet Street and the mainstream English-based, English-centric, England-centric, Little Englandish Fleet Street and the mainstream so-called media. Now today's papers will show the front page, the Boris graph. The daily Boris graph has got, top half has got the picture of the clearly visible unwell husband of Brenda's, Philip, the husband of Queen Elizabeth II. And the other headline, of course, on the front page is against the European Union. That is going to fester for as long as the Little Englanders can actually sustain it. They cannot sustain it, but they think they are sustaining it. And the Boris graph has got a very significant headline. Now, this is the Indian Gupta, the overly subsidized big business criminal, Gupta. And the Boris graph has managed to find a connection between Gupta and the S&P, claiming that the S&P backed Gupta deal, and that is ringing alarm bells. That is what they are saying about Gupta, and the billions of pounds of public resource are being pocketed by big biz criminals. Gupta is not the only one, but he is one of them. And the Boris graph is talking about against Meghan and Harry. And the complete servility of the language, royal. I mean, they assign to royal, ascribe to the word royal, some kind of superhuman, superordinary kind of extraordinary power. What that power is a mystery, but this is veneration for the evil tradition of the royal family or royal families, because there is unaccountable, absolute dictatorship, authoritarianism. They were authoritarianism. All the evil things that would not be acceptable in ordinary language today were done by the royals. They murdered people, ordered people to be beheaded, and all the rest of it. So that is the veneration for the evil. And the connection is that the likes of the Beaverbrook Daily Express, that revere the descendants of and the couriers of the so-called tradition of the royal origins, they are the very ones that have been always doing the wrong things, like supporting Brexit, opposing any, even the minor, the most small, hint of constitutional law changes that end the rule of the undemocratic, unaccountable, evil ones. So, for example, regardless of what shade or tier or level of kind of difference in terms of their so-called ideology that Tories have, all of them are united in opposing, say, for example, the phrase human rights or Human Rights Act, as has been shown, exposed in the behavior of Theresa May. And the Daily Mirror is doing a very stupid headline, but we shall come to that when we do the detail in the original first part. This is the introduction. And there is an anti-European Union heading on the I newspaper, which has become completely an extension of the Daily Mail. And the Star is featuring Philip. And the Financial Times is talking about Dominic Raab. And it is suggesting that Raab is raising the heat on number 10 soft line towards China. And there is a very rare piece on the Financial Times about the migrant workers, the poor conditions facing Britain's migrant workers. Now, that is putting it very mildly, but we shall be talking more about the racist condition of service, slave condition that the migrant workers are consigned in, condemned in. And there is, in addition to the Financial Times, the Times is continuing, if you like, or reporting similar line that there is a kind of disagreement between Dominic Raab and Boris Johnson, because Boris Johnson is being attacked for pushing trade links with China. Now, this is not unique, because in India, the Indian kind of equivalent or copy or imitation of some of the American channel that the Indian kind of government has sponsored in the last 1 year is running the line that Boris Johnson and India's Narendra Modi are very much getting closer against China. And India is saying that India needs concession from Britain if India is to agree with Boris Johnson's line of attacking China. But that's a disguise, because Modi has its own needs for Western, that is British, American support in the strategic kind of attack and onslaught on China. So this line that the Indian broadcasting propaganda outlet is beaming today is false and misleading and part of the falsification, because India is closest to China, not only physically, but in many other respects. China is one of the 3 occupiers of Kashmir, India being the occupier of the bigger land of Kashmir, and Pakistan the second one, but China is the third one. But China does occupy Kashmir. And also Pakistan and China, strategically, they are not natural kind of allies, but strategically they have been maintaining a so-called diplomatic marriage that has never been consummated, if you like, by China, giving real support to Pakistan. And India and Pakistan are at loggerheads against one another, and they are both concerned about the role of China. And China has never been, as I said, as reliable as it would like to be treated as in terms of Pakistan. So it's a fraught marriage between Pakistan and China. And the Kissinger initiative, which unblocked the American relationship with China, was made possible by the Pakistani government at the time, colluding with the Kissinger mission. And that is a brazen kind of item of evidence. It is nothing to do with the Americans supporting Pakistan, nor the Americans actually accepting China. It's the strategic kind of need to corner or push on one side Russia. And all of those things are done brazenly without the ordinary people being referred to anywhere. So we shall be talking more about that in due course. And this is the one that the Daily Mail is now back to form, and it's accusing Meghan and Harry of betrayal of trust. That is a lie. The Daily Mail is lying. So we shall be talking more about those and other issues, including talking about the latest mainstream media that is catching up. The catching up because we started the campaign on the 26th of February 2021. Clearly focused on the Tower Hamlets Council's failure and betrayal of the safeguarding children duties that it owed to Shamima Begum and the other children. We're talking about these children, these girls, when they were children, when they were aged 19, not after that. Whatever has been happening in the last 2.5 years is known to us, but the point is that we are not blaming Tower Hamlets Council for the failures that are affecting Shamima Begum and the other girls' rights, as caused by the failures and the damages in the heart and the denials, for example, of her rights by the Home Secretary Sajid Javid at the time, and the being perpetrated and perpetuated by his successor, so-called chronological successor, Priti Patel. And we are talking about Charlie Hebdo and the racist anti-Muslim hypocrisy of Fleet Street about Charlie Hebdo. And of course, we are talking about the DNA anti-Muslim hatred of the French President Macron, and the fascist and racist and anti-Muslim revival of hatred in France via the so-called attack on the rights of free speech or freedom of the media that is linked with the two Muslim brothers, French Muslim brothers, attacking Charlie Hebdo 5 years ago. And we're also going to talk about the role of the Metropolitan Police Commissioner from 2003 to 2008, Ian Blair, who has come forward defending the current commissioner, Cressida Dick, after Dick was exposed as having attacked the peaceful vigil in honor and in memory of Sarah Everard, and also in support of the demand for the total freedom and safety of women in the streets of London, in the streets of the UK. And we are also looking at the bill that Boris Johnson, through Priti Patel, has been promoting, the worst possible timing and the worst possible contents. The bill asking for more police powers, not only more police powers, but brazen open dictatorship by the police. Anyone who sneezes in the street or annoys somebody is liable to be sent to prison. And all these imprisonment provisions that have been included in the bill are crazy beyond condemnation. And the performance by Keir Starmer against that bill has been abysmal, timid, stupid, and unjustifiably stupid and collusive. So we shall be talking more about that. And finally, we shall be talking about the absolute urgent need for democracy in local areas like Tower Hamlets. Democracy has been kind of denied, had been kind of consigned to the darkness since October 2010, when the corrupt post of elected mayor was foisted on the borough, with the first incumbent being Lutfur Rahman, who made things 100 times worse. So we want the post of elected mayor scrapped immediately.